Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. I don't know. I'm in a great mood today. And you know something? I want to thank every single one of you out here who chose to support my work. On the first of every month, I ask for your support. And a bunch of you did choose to do that. And it really means a lot to me. And again, thank you, all of you. People, let's move forward here. Let's talk. Tomorrow is a big day for this market. Today starts the FOMC meeting, the Federal Reserve, public enemy number freaking one. Yeah, they're going to start their meeting today, and tomorrow we're going to get an announcement as to what the Fed is going to do. Now, it is widely expected that the Federal Reserve is going to announce some kind of, mysterious taper. They're going to apparently stop buying specific assets. They're going to slow down their asset purchases. Let me just say this. Number one, okay, whatever is going to happen is baked into the market. There will be no major reaction. Sure, once the announcement comes out, the market could waver around a little bit, and then it's going to just balance out. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I don't care, and neither do you, what comes out of the mouth of the thing known as Yellowstone Powell. What you and I are going to do, okay, it's very, very simple. We're going to look at the 10-year yield after the announcement. We're going to look at the 10-year yield and the dollar, okay? That's going to let us know pretty much how the market is going to react here. And again, do expect some volatility when the announcement is made tomorrow. And we'll cover this, obviously. But I just want to give you a heads up here. And then what we're going to do, you and me moving forward, is we're going to keep our eyes on the yield curve. I'll keep you on top of that, the 10-year yield and the dollar. We'll see what the Fed is actually doing. You understand? They can say whatever they want to. Just like last time, you remember they were supposed to stop quantitative easing? It never stopped, not even for a nanosecond. Never. The Fed, again, look, the Fed is determined to keep rates suppressed. Okay? They've done this now since 2008, since November of 2008, as a matter of fact. Now, the Fed, they're not magical. They have no magical powers. No, they don't. So they can't just say they're going to do something and it just happens. Like, for example, we're going to, keep rates low. They have to get into the market. They have to create cash out of thin air and buy assets, buy debt, period, the end. I don't think many people understand that. The Fed can't just say something. They have to get into the market and make it happen. So, it's going to be, of course, a freak show, like it always is. And the fact of the matter is, no matter what the Fed does, number one, they're not going to slow down the pace of rising inflation. It's just not going to happen. Inflation will continue to surge at a historic pace. All right, so don't think you're going to get any relief here. Absolutely not. Inflation will get worse. This is by design. Okay, the Fed has been creating trillions and trillions of dollars out of thin air and dollarizing the entire world, like I have explained to you 1,000 times, okay, since 2008. You think all of a sudden, just because they're going to, taper, taper, you think that's going to stop the flow of dollars from now chasing the same amount of goods? No. The floodgates have been opened, and this is all by design here, people. You all know that. We have no representation here in our country. The United States of America is dead and buried. This is a new thing. I told you this would come from a decade ago. A new set of rules, a new paradigm, a new world order. The central banks are running the world. You understand? This has been their goal since their inception. to be the governing body of the world, bodies of the world. Why do you think there are central banks all around the world? They have a stranglehold on everybody. And they are creating slaves, debt slaves, nation slaves, individual slaves. And this is not going to stop. A two-tier society, a whole new demographic is being created here, people. A whole new demographic, a wipeout of the middle class. The well-off and the rich are getting richer and richer. The people at the lower rung, well, they're done already. So that's just the story here. It's a whole new demographic. It's a whole new ball game. We're going back to a feudal system, and you know that. Anyway, so let's watch the markets today. Let's see how they react. Tomorrow is going to be an epic day. Epic. I really am looking so forward to it. People, let me just say this, okay, real quick. If in fact, let's just say, hypothetically, we get a dip in this market, buy it. Buy it, okay? I will keep you on top of that as well. Follow the MMRI. Link in the description of this video. Watch that 10-year yield. Watch the dollar. I got you covered. You know that. All right. With that said, let's move forward. Stock futures now, trading doesn't start for about 35 minutes, are flat to slightly higher. Okay, we just had a trifecta of record highs yesterday. Despite, manufacturing falling off of a cliff, construction spending unexpectedly, plunging here. The savings rate of American citizens is non-existent anymore. They continue to borrow beyond their eyeballs. Something you knew was going to happen because I told you. I told you what was going to happen. That people who consider themselves middle class, they're going to borrow and borrow and borrow some more just to try to maintain that status. And all they're doing is assuring the fact that they're falling into the lower rung of society here, the new two-tier society that is in our face. You understand? It's a terrible thing to watch, but we all knew this was coming from a long time ago. At least you did, if you've been following this blog. People, cryptocurrencies, doing phenomenal today, getting bid higher yet again, okay? Still stuck in a range, but higher. Gold and silver under some pressure right now. You know the game. I don't think there's a bigger game except for crude oil. Precious metals and crude oil are, by any measure you want to look at, the two most rigged things in this market. Crude oil, obviously propped up artificially to the upside. You know why. It's the lifeblood of the market, the lifeblood of the military-industrial complex. The market depends on crude oil, without any doubt. All right, we got crude oil now about $84 a barrel. All right, looks like we got that pullback from 85 to 80. It got bought. Okay, now it's marching higher here. What else would you expect to happen? Again, nothing's real. People, I think you know this, but I'm just going to tell you again. There is not a single asset class, none today, that has a real price discovery mechanism behind it. It's all twisted. It's all rigged, all of it. And it's by design, creating hyper bubbles, inverse bubbles, and these distortions will correct to fair value. No, they're going to overcorrect at one point. And, I know everyone's waiting for the big crash, the big meltdown. Oh, and it's going to come. And the opportunity that's going to arise from that is going to be beyond your wildest dreams. Why am I saying that? Because right now, let's just look at the stock market. The stock market is a hyper bubble. No. Let's correct that. Hyper bubble being built on a monster. That is the debt bubble. I think we all know that. When risk on becomes risk off, which will happen. Okay, we're going to get a meltdown in the debt market, which is going to spike rates at an uncontrollable pace, okay? That's going to melt down the stock market. Cash is going to move in a wave from one group of assets into another. Commodities are going to skyrocket. If you think crude oil is high now at 85 or close to it, 84, you haven't seen anything yet. Gold and silver and cryptocurrencies too, in my view, are going to take off like you really cannot possibly believe when this risk-on environment, meaning cash going into equities, turns risk off. Now, the equity market is just going to overcorrect, and I'm talking overcorrect big time, because what's going to happen is what always does. When the market crashes, okay, what happens during a market crash? People start running for the door all at the same time. Everybody wants to get out first, and not everybody is going to get out first, obviously. So people are going to look to sell assets at an extreme discount, So what that's going to do is set you and me, my lions here, we're going to shred this market, well, to death, okay, when that does happen, because there's going to be opportunity. Opportunity like you can't possibly believe at one point. And this guy is going to keep every single one of you on the right side of this market like I always have done. People, I think I covered a lot this morning. Very important video. Let's watch. You know what to look for. I already told you, all right, what to look for here when the Fed makes their announcement. Tomorrow. It's going to be lovely. Whatever. I don't care what the Fed does. I don't care what they do, what they say. I really don't. I'm sitting pretty. I'm in all the right spots, and so are you, if you've been following this blog. So you can just sit back and laugh. You can sit back and laugh. Period. The end. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh my rear end off. Seriously. All right, people, look, love you a lot. Again, a huge thank you. Thank you for supporting my work. Those of you who have stepped up to do that. You're my base, and I just love all of you. I'm out here. I will see you, well, later.